So I posted a picture of the bus and asked if anybody had any specific questions about the build or anything that I have put in the bus. So I am going to go through those. I did get a bunch of questions about the plumbing. Apparently everybody wants to know where I poop. Don't have any plumbing in the bus. So if I need to wash dishes, I just heat up water, pour it into a wash tub, do all my dishes in there, then dry them. If I need to use a toilet, I'm either parked in a campground like I am currently, or I am out in the woods. I mostly poop in beautiful places because I travel a lot. Donnie Wilson, why haven't I gotten a ride yet? Well, you come find me. Meat, storage, and handling. So I have been working with Yeti for a long time doing photography and have realized the benefits of good coolers. And if you properly pack a Yeti cooler, you can use it as a fridge for 7 to 10 days. And then if you can figure out a way to get your meat on ice early, you can keep it cold for as long as you need to, but pretty slick. So yeah, I just use all coolers for that. Is that your permanent residence? How do you store everything you kill? I already answered the second question. Yes to the first question. Did you have to make any upgrades to the engine, rebuild, or the suspension? When I bought the bus, the school district had actually rebuilt the motor and the transmission, so I didn't have to do anything. I've only got 25,000 miles on the rebuild. It's running strong. I did have to do a little bit of maintenance. Needed a new fan clutch, had to fix some gas leaks, or not gas leaks, but exhaust leaks. Just a few things like that before I took off on the trip.
What about the rain?
Oh, the rain. I'm sitting here currently in central Montana, and it's the first time it's rained since I started the bus build, and so I'm just now figuring out where all the leaks are. And it was raining hard. I've got a leak in the passenger side windshield, as well as leaking around both of the emergency exits. I had to get a couple cans of Flex Seal and get that all fixed up. How do you secure gear inside and outside the bus? Inside the bus, when I'm traveling, I just try to keep everything as low as possible so it doesn't rattle off. Buses are pretty bumpy. Craig Francis, will the bunk sleep someone who is 6'6"? It will indeed. I made them specifically almost 80 inches long for tall people. Altogether, how much money do you have into it? You know, I can actually check that right now. $13,000. The bus was $3,500, $1,500 maintenance on it before I left on the trip, $750 on a part and the labor on that, and then another $500 for a couple additional parts and an oil change when I got back from the fall. But yeah, everything else was just a lot of trips to Menards and Lowe's and hardware stores. And so this does not include fuel, anything like that. When you Uber with this, does the surge rate automatically go into effect? Yes. This is considered the Uber XL, maybe XXL. Nolan Berg, what shade of green are those cushions? Various. What was the biggest challenge creating the bus? Just the time. When you dream up the idea, it all looks good in your head, and then you start building, you realize how long it's going to take you. So I was scrambling. I only gave myself a couple months to build it, and luckily, I got it all done. What has been the greatest reward that you've reaped since embarking on the bus adventure? Pretty much just having like the ultimate hunting base camp. Like I've stayed in a lot of wall tents in different places, and clearly like a high-end lodge is pretty nice, but it's hard to beat. Yeah. Gabe Steinborn, how much is rent? For you, free. So how many does the rig sleep? Comfortably up to 8 or 9 people. Austin Buskey, any place to get an in-depth look at the bus? Check out my latest video, which is the bus tour. Steve Eklund, does this bus have a passport? And if yes, when are you coming up here for a rip? Steve, I will be there as soon as possible. Does the wood burner heat the bus also? It does a little bit. It heats the awning great, and then if I leave the door open, obviously I'll pull a little heat in, but I mainly heat the inside of the bus with my propane fireplace. Does it have AC? And how did you attach the wood to the walls and the floor? It does not have AC. It does have a lot of windows, which is not quite as good. The floor is just a vinyl plank, so I had a plywood base, and then I interlocked all the vinyl plank on the floor. With all the rattling, there has been some separation, but it really hasn't been too bad. And on the walls, I ran 2x4 runners the flat way along the wall, so I didn't take up too much room coming into the bus, because you have so limited space anyway. And then I ran those all the length of the bus, and then attached all the pine on top of that. And that's it. Those are all the questions so far. If you have any more questions, comment below. Be sure to subscribe to the Gannett Ridge YouTube channel, as well as like, share, all of those things. Thank you. See you next time.